Hey Garrett, we're live. Hey everybody, this is Scott. We're driving to some appointments in Visalia area, so I'm doing a little GPS here. And since we have an 18-minute drive, and maybe we'll go have lunch before we go on our next appointment, I thought I would introduce everybody to Garrett from our services department. This is Garrett. We're letting people know that we are, of course, an outfit that comes visit in person if you'd like. Either on the phone, via email, in person. We're getting current in times with video chats and things like that. So I thought, let's ask Garrett some questions. What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you got?
Okay, so we just had a good example. We walked into a shop and he was working on his machine himself.
Yep.
And why was that? And what we found out was he was on the Haas website.
Yeah,
and he pulled apart the entire spindle, and he was...
Yeah, they had crashed their machine.
Okay.
Which happens. We all know it happens. And he was taking covers off, following along with the Haas procedures on, the service website, haascnc.com, the service and everything like that, and just going step by step, following along, just like a new technician would. They post all the specs, everything you need to do, what bolts to access, how to access them. It's becoming a really common tool for people. They have the same information that our service techs have access to.
So when you say they have the same access,
sure.
When your techs show up to go through how to realign a spindle, they're pulling up the same specs that the customers can on the website.
Exactly. Yeah, Haas is completely transparent with that stuff. There's no need to keep it hidden, right? So the more that everyone is aware of what's going on, the easier it is for the customer. In a case like with Carlos that we just saw, if a tech does come in and he does need some help, he knows what the tech's doing. He knows what's going on. He can look at the procedure himself, see how involved it can be. A lathe alignment can really be a long process. So for him to know what the steps are, what we're going, why are you taking that cover off? Oh, because that's where those bolts are. And he can get all of that himself. It's just transparency. It just makes it easier for everyone involved.
So a guy like Carlos here, he obviously has a lot of experience. He's got a lot of vintage, let's just say vintage Haas. Some of those are 22, 23 years old.
Absolutely.
That he said he was running just all the time.
Yep.
Now he worked on them himself sometimes,
sure.
But that was kind of cool. He's got 6 machines in there that were running that he was keeping going for years and years.
Some old mills. He's got some head covers off of some other ones he's working on, and again following along with that website because he just wants to fix them himself and order parts and keep going.
You could show up and do it, but this is the guy that just wants to do it himself.
It's his business, right? So he's got to do what he can, and like you said, he's a mechanic. He's used to fixing stuff and having all those resources. And like you said, you can just call us, talk to Chris on the phone, talk to whoever's in tech support, and get some part numbers. Talk to people that have been in the field. We backfill that position with other techs, so that there's always someone that knows what you're looking at without having a machine in front of them. And like you said, you guys are doing emails and videos, and we're doing FaceTime. And
do you do that FaceTime sometimes?
Absolutely, yeah. If someone's, if Chris is on the phone with somebody, I hear him and he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. Just FaceTime me." And then all of a sudden, oh, there we go. And so it's helpful. Anything we can do to connect ourselves to that machine shop faster, quicker, and get you rolling. Someone like Carlos, who just saw, he's got a lot of work, so he doesn't.
Yeah, he didn't want to be down.
No, he can't afford the downtime. No one can, and so he's got every resource at his fingertips. He can call us when he gets stuck. He can hop on the website. We got videos. We got everything. So.
Well, that was a fun little visit. It's funny. We walked in and they're like, "Hey, we're just kind of letting everybody know we're in the area, and let's catch up." And then he goes, "Oh, I need you." And he's like, "Come with me now."
You're from service?
Oh, you're from service.
Let me show you something. Absolutely.
And the whole side of the machine was full apart.
Of course. Happy to do it. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're out here all the time. We also got local techs. We got Greg in Visalia.
We got 3.
Yeah, we got Greg in Visalia. We got Jose.
Which is where we're at right now.
Yep. And we got Jose in Bakersfield, and then we have Guillermo on the coast. So he's in Carpinteria or Camarillo, and they cover this whole area. This is their home.
It literally is Greg's home. He lives right up the street.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so Greg has been with us for 6-7 years now.
Yep.
Fantastic. I mean, we're really fortunate to have him live in the area.
Absolutely.
And he wanted to live up here, which is awesome.
Absolutely. He loves it up here.
And then we have We have Guillermo that I think he worked at Haas for a good 8-10
He
years.
was a service tech at Haas for a long time, and now he's with us. He's been here he's probably coming up close to 6-7 as well with
us, our dealership.
Yeah. And then Jose just celebrated a year.
He worked at the Haas factory also.
Yeah, he worked on the UMC line.
5-axis line.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I think we send him out on the 5-axis machine startups, right?
Yeah, and alignments. He's our UMC alignment guy. So nobody does it faster than he does.
So let's talk a little bit about when you call Haas services. So that's in my email description, Haas services.
Yeah.
What happens when you call Haas services? You're going to go to applications, tech support, or dispatch.
Yeah,
so what's applications under your leadership?
Yeah, applications does anything that isn't that's maybe the gray area of service. Someone calls with chatter, someone's got some probing issues, things like that. We'll get those over to apps to take a look at first and say, no, this is a programming issue, or potentially a post issue or something like that, or no, this is a service issue. It sounds like you got some backlash or something going on. We need to get service out there to come take a look.
So software before we move into anything hardware?
No, not necessarily software. Just programming, right? Not necessarily software. But again, some of the probing stuff is software related, and we address those concerns. You got Chris on tech support, so
Chris, shout out to you, Chris.
Yeah.
If you end up watching this.
And we'll, he can kind of walk through and figure out what's going on. And then he can, get you over to dispatch, get a call set up, and maybe put some parts on order ahead of time for you. We see that a lot, or someone that says, yeah, put me on the schedule and ship the parts, and I'll let you know if I fix it. Just to kind of keep us on the back burner in case, calling the cavalry if needed. So.
And then you have Evelyn and Rosalind.
Absolutely, on 2 dispatchers.
Dispatch, they're awesome.
They're awesome. They're friendly voices when people need them, and they both work really hard and take their job very, very seriously.
Yep.
Their whole goal is to get people as fast as we can, and navigating all of the chaos that was COVID and people in and out of work and off for days and coming back and just all of that. They juggle all of that and make sure that whatever we're doing, we're going forward and keeping the ship straight. So, very thankful for them and their dedication. Same with Chris and everyone in apps as well.
Yep.
And then all the field guys, they put their heads down and they grind every day.
Yeah, so we sometimes have techs come up from Orange County up here.
Sure.
But sometimes we send our guys down to Orange County. It's a team effort.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows where people maybe need a little help, and they'll raise their hand. Guys are doing weekends and overtime all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're wide open to get as caught up as we can. Like you said, weekends, overtime, daily overtime, weekly overtime, people doing stuff on Saturdays just to keep the ball rolling.
So when service calls come in, there's like 3 different kinds. There's new install. Somebody's been waiting 3 months for a machine.
Sure.
I want my machine, man. I paid good money. I'd like to get that up and running.
Absolutely.
So we're working every angle we can to get that machine up and running.
Dispatch goes a couple steps further, and they don't just wait for the ship notice. They follow along with Haas's sales tool.
Okay.
And make sure that they, if there's something coming down the pipeline, but they also communicate with you guys, right?
Yeah.
If you know someone's hot for a machine and they got a pallet of material next to it, they're going to do what they can to get someone in there and get that thing started up as quick as possible.
And then there's anything that bubbles up during a warranty period.
Sure, we're on it.
We're on it. And then we have people that just have flat out crashes like that guy.
Yep, it happens. That's what we're here for.
And the schedule is fluid. Sometimes somebody says, I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
And then you're like, can we come out next week? We've got somebody that's around the corner that's a machine down. And I think you would appreciate us sort of trying to help out people that have a machine down. I'm sure you would understand versus just an option. I'd like to get at it.
Correct. Yeah. Dispatch is really aware of that. They really work hard to understand the business and understand a down machine versus my lights are flickering, and trying to prioritize. And it's a delicate balance for us because we have to take the calls in the order that they come in, but we also recognize that there's times when we have to be flexible, and like you said, the schedule's fluid. We might walk into a shop and it's click and it's done, and it's a lot faster than we thought, and now we're a day ahead.
So that's what happens when I get a call that says I was scheduled for a week or 2, and then they called me the next day and say, hey, we actually have an opening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's
and dispatch is we always say let's let's be honest, let's be realistic, and then let's maybe surprise people. Let's not overpromise and underdeliver, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather give you the worst case scenario and know that all we're trying to do is move everyone up as fast as possible.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way we play it. We have to be realistic about the schedule and where it's at, and you know, we're bringing in new techs, we've got trainees, we're trying to get more and more and more, and those efforts never stop.
Yeah, people do ask about the lead times, and not for building a machine. Obviously, those are up right now at the factory because of lots of raw materials and shipping.
Sure.
But also in service, you know, we have guys that take off and come back, and you know, we're always onboarding people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that process to become a certified tech isn't just next day.
No,
you know?
no, not at all. There's two aspects of it. One is you have to get the stamp of approval from Haas. That Haas says, yeah, you can fix machine tools.
Yeah.
But you also have to get our stamp of approval that we want you in front of these customers that we've built relationships with for these, you know, last 5, 10, 15, 20, some of them 30 years. You need to be comfortable in a shop. We need to be comfortable. You know what you're talking about, and you're ready to handle these situations. And so there's two facets to that make it. It's not an overnight process. It takes time, and you want them to fix it right. You don't want someone in your shop that doesn't know what they're doing, right? Anyone can follow a procedure, but you have to truly understand the roots of what you're working on and how it affects, you know.
And you know, because you were a service tech for many years.
I was.
So in fact, we're in Tulare.
You're in my zone.
You're in his zone. So you spent a year or two pretty much in every shop up here.
Yep.
In and out, wrenching on machines, putting in spindles,
Absolutely.
Installing machines.
Yep.
We stopped by your uncle's house.
Yep.
We're up in Wood Lake. We went to a rodeo yesterday.
Yeah,
Kind of started off our trip. We wanted to get a little
home.
cheers, lemonade cheers, rodeo, Wood Lake. When she's ready. Yeah. So Garrett actually has this territory and this business in his DNA. Sometimes you say you miss wrenching on machines, you know, some of the fun part.
Oh, you saw my face light up with Carlos.
Yeah. He went in and it was like, oh, this is what you need to do.
Dirty.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
get her some grease under her fingernails.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think we got a great team, and maybe we talk a little bit later, but I thought I'd just start off before we get to our next exit.
Sure.
We're trying to visit maybe another 15, 20 shops before you get back to Orange County, and
Absolutely.
and it's really nice that you're taking the time, and
That's part
he
of
says anytime, which
anytime. I mean,
yeah, like literally I can call Garrett, and it's
call me next week. I'll be here.
Yeah, and just from my point of view, being able to call someone like Garrett, and we're all on the same team, I don't know if that's the same with every company, but I think this filters down to our customers, is that when you call me and you've got something going on, we're in copy on a lot of this stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's a team effort.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, well, let's just end it. Let's go visit the next shop and see how we can serve. All right, everybody, I'm here at a VF4, and they're not a 50 taper. This is a 40 taper. It's really removing some chips, some heavy steel. Customer on his new VF4. He's making some heavy cuts with some heavy steel. Wasn't the intention originally, but they got the work, and so they are just doing the best with what they can, but they're really happy with the VF4 and material it's removing at the rate. It's rigid, it's stable, it's doing really well. And yeah, and this is just some of the parts. Some heavy cuts with Haas. Oh, we got a loud shop here with Haas tooling. With the Haas tooling, so pretty cool. So somehow I ended up on a runway in Visalia. You're visiting shops and you take a wrong turn sometimes. It happens, right, Garrett?
It does.
Garrett's like, I don't know if you should be going that way.
No, they start shooting.
Let's start shooting. But we ended up on a runway, so we gotta get out of here. Day in the life, Coventry Coast Valley. And it looks like an out over there. Nice planes though. These are pretty cool, huh? Look at that. Woohoo. That is cool. B-17?
Yeah. Can you try Rob? I'm not actually in the office. I'm out of the office. Cool. All right.
American Veterans. That's right. B-17, there it is. So this is a B-17, and what were you pointing at?
B-17 Flying Fortress.
Okay.
My great-grandfather was a belly and a tail gunner.
Really?
Yeah. So B-17s are huge in my family.
Okay, so how many of these did they build that you understand?
Thousands.
Thousands.
of them.
Super popular.
It was the bombing plane.
Was the bombing plane.
They would fly in like these huge groups and just carpet bomb.
We are far out there, aren't we?
We are.
We are out there, and we're out here, why?
Visiting
Customers. And I mean, I'm waiting for my cell phone service to sort of dump any minute now, because we were out here earlier and we had some spotty issues. Some nice, beautiful land, but there's someone with a machine shop out here, so we want to go introduce ourselves. And we got the ag show going on in Visalia, or Tulare, right now, so and there's a lot of these guys that are doing 100 miles an hour on these little small roads. But we're having a good time, and just wanted to kind of share a little bit of what we're doing and what makes this maybe perhaps different than some other shops. Hey everybody, this is Scott and Garrett. We are finishing up our Valley trips. We've met a couple dozen, maybe more. It was fun seeing everybody. If we got a chance to see you, I want to thank you for the time. I know we kind of just walked in and said, hi, here we are, dropping off some flyers and stuff. We'll be back. I want to thank Garrett from the services department and his team for supporting the Valley.
Absolutely.
And they pledged to keep it up. And with that, I will say adieu. And then again, as always, reach out to me and I'll come back and we'll see you. God bless, and see you again. Bye.
Thanks, guys.